Europe could approach sustainability and so the SDGs and those new growth markets much more as a business opportunity rather than an obligation. In general, from the European government perspective, the focus is very much on control. Is everybody doing things correctly? Are they reporting correctly? If not, we have penalties following, rather than focusing on actual growth. And if you talk about the companies that are ahead of the curve, they need stimulus for growth rather than control. In other words, Europe very much focuses on the back door, but leaves the front door too closed. If you think about startups and scale-ups, they need access to capital much more here than compared to the US. In the US, capital is much easier provided to scale up companies, and here in Europe we focus on the large and on the very small, but in between the commercialization and the scale up of companies is underserved, so we have to do more about that. That's actually what they need, access to capital, but also a relief of all kinds of regulations and reporting obligations, because we want those companies to spend their time on growth rather than nitty-gritty of all kinds of rules. I'm not saying those rules aren't important, but there's always an 80-20% rule. What is most important? So those two things are very important. And then last but not least, we need Europe to be a one market, because we always talk as Europe as, like an entity, but this is not the case. We are actually many countries with different regulations, different market mechanisms. So we need to shift away from that and create one market in Europe. Technology, AI, big data, blockchain, machine learning, all those technologies can really speed up ESG because it can lower costs and it can unlock new markets. It really accelerates, but also alongside creates much more business opportunities. That for Poland is one point of attention. Second, to collaborate between business, universities and governments. I think that can be hugely improved in Poland as to grow businesses, as to transfer knowledge from science to business, and as to, for instance, use the country's procurement of the government as to enhance those markets.